Ooh, let's look at back. Did I bring it up? I think I need to bring it up a little bit. No, it's too high. Ah, shit. Should be recording. More on practice. So today, because it is going to be a mixed class with somebody who's never seen this before, to those of you who've gone through almost the entire set, the entire Sabruri, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a mix of both. So I'm going to do some of the more beginner type items that are, I guess I'm going to highlight them, and then we'll go over into the more complex items. So hopefully we'll be getting a little mix. Anyway, so again, the first movement is Chokuski. So it's a very basic one. I will tell you, you will see these done differently. This is specifically Awama, and so that's what we're going to focus in on, and how it was done with them, or with that schooling. Again, you're going to start palm up with the backhand, palm down with the front hand. You're going to recoil back with your hips open. The palm then goes up in the front hand, down on the backhand. And then as you launch off your back foot, you're going to spin this. So, and you do that for torque. So again, you're going to ski. And again, it's what it is you're going to open up, palm down, palm up. And then as you close, the hands are going to cork in. As you're doing that, as you can see, my hips are launching, and it's launching off the back foot. So the back foot should be initiating this movement. So I don't like to see the drag with your foot, that zombie walk. I want to see you launch. And it's the same thing as if you're doing a ski. You're launching off that back foot. Your hips develop the power, so you got to drive it with that power. So I'm going to practice for a little bit. Just want to watch y'all. And make sure that when you're doing these, it's all from left palm knee. You're always starting left palm knee on these. You can practice right palm knee, but for the sake of the 20 Joseph Burry, focus on just doing left. All right, so the next movement that we're going to be doing, and I'm not going to do this in the order that was shown, since we're again doing highlights. The next one that we're going to be doing is Shomanuchi, right? So on this one, you're going to take a step back, and then you're going to attack forward. And when you step forward, you're launching off that foot, again, helping driving the Joe forward, and then you're going to do your strike, and it's a strike straight down on top. So here, here. Side. Again, stepping back. And again, as I've taught in the previous classes, when you're doing this, you can let it drop on a saburi if you're trying to practice a longer strike. So you can do this for saburi. Not recommended for a kata because you're planning on practicing with the opponent. This one is you're trying to get your core movements down. So you bring it up, drop, and then you can strike. Some things to note when you're doing Shomanuchi is, again, everything is right ham knee on these. You're going to keep your arms extended. Try to keep your arms as high above your head as possible. It's very important, especially when you get tired, because once you get tired, you'll start to drop that down. You want to extend that up as high as possible. Keep your arms extended and let it kind of whip out. For those of you who've ever gone fishing, it's kind of like casting a reel. So good. Good. So the reason why I wanted to do these in this particular order was so that we can then get onto some of these combinations. For Evie's to know, she because she hasn't been in any of these classes yet, Saito Sensei started off with each segment, starting with ski, Shomanuchis, moved them over to what do you call it, Katatatori, I believe. Don't take my word for it. But basically strikes, and then he moved over to basically Hysos. So he kept everything in categories, and then he also had started with single movements like what we just did to combinations. So it was a mix of simplistic to more advanced movements, the final two movements, which would be considered advanced. So in this case, what we're going to do next is what would be considered the first combination, which was a ski Shomanuchi, right? So we're going to go ahead and now do ski Shomanuchi. So ski Shomanuchi. So ski, you're raising it up. Again, I know I have a tendency to pick this up as I'm spinning it and then putting straight down or striking straight down. So ski, Shomanuchi down. All right. Just watch y'all for a second. Yeah, so one emphasis on this is that, and I probably should be talking towards the mic, one emphasis that I need to bring up is that this is a showman strike. So you are going straight down on it. So you're going straight down through the strike. You don't want to do a Yokomanuchi, which is this. It's a diagonal strike. So this is actually taught to go straight down. There is a distinctive difference. One, you're hitting to the top of the head. The other one, you're heading to either the corner of the head, is what I've been told, or on towards the neck. So make sure that you're very aware of the difference of what you're doing when you're doing a shomen, which is straight down, versus a yokomane, which is at a diagonal. So just do a few more of those, and then we'll move on to the next set of movements. So
you're switching from
no, I was comparing and contrasting shomanuchi versus yokomanuchi.
right. When you're switching from the ski, when you're bringing it up, is that also a block, or it's just a transition into the?
In this case, it is a transition.
Okay, so we're not actually backing up to block. We're just continuing with the forward movement.
Yeah. He honestly doesn't do blocks until you do the last movements.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do one more. Again, they're more towards the beginning of the 20 Joseph Brewery, and then we'll hop on over to the more advanced stuff towards the end of it, trying to balance out the class again. So the next one would be the Ushiro ski, which is here. You're bringing it up to the elbow, and then you're striking down. So again, bringing it up to your forearm, and then you're striking back. So here, and that's the theme throughout all of them. Whenever, because there's quite a few of these where you incorporate an Ushiro ski, so you want to make sure that you have that in place. A lot of people get really lazy and they don't let this attach to your arm and strike down. They just rush into it and then they do this, and as you can see, it's really sloppy. And the strike is not as strong. You want to strike down, but you want to make sure that this is attached to your forearm.
And this is a tension movement, isn't it?
It is a tension movement.
Nice.
So what you want to do is you want to start left top knee, and you're going to push this to your forearm. And as you can see, the Joe is to my outside. So as you do that, you'll then strike back. So you start left top knee, you're going to bring this up, and then you're going to strike back.
I see both cats at the same time.
Yes, they're both in my backyard. So. Good. Seriously, you two. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and let me check the time real quick. So now let's go ahead and get on the HISOs. If you have questions, ask plenty of them. These are probably some of the more complex movements that we'll do. But they're also, in some cases, the most fun. You do want to make sure that you have room around you. So make sure you don't have any trees, tables, objects. In my case, cats in the near area, because these are like basically room sweepers. So we'll start with the basic HISO movement, and then we'll move on to the other combinations that are included or added to this. So in this case, we're going to start right hob knee. Start right palm knee. You're going to bring it up, and then you're going to whip it back and bring this up. So again, and I'll go as slow as I can. You're going to bring this up. You're going to cut this round and bring this up. Hey.
Did you hit the cat? Did you hit the cat?
No, I didn't hit the cat. I just put it I never hit a cat. Might spray him with a water gun. So anyway, again, bring this up. And step back. So you're basically bring this up. You're letting the right arm, or sorry, you're bringing this up with the right arm. You're going to push it down with the left, and then step back. And as you're stepping back, this should circle over, and you'll be back on the back in the Haiso. Haiso is basically you want this around your collarbone. Is where you want to have the jaw to rest, and you squat down a little bit, and you want to have it completely vertical. So let's watch that for a second. And again, if you have any questions, so you're starting in right ham knee. So you're starting in right ham knee. You're raising the jaw up a little bit with your right hand, and you're going to step back. As you step back, you're going to cut that up. So raise this up. So you're going to raise it up. You're going to push off. And as it flips around, you're going to have it rest on top of your shoulder. Sorry, we jumped right into the advanced stuff, Evie, but I'm going to have to do a mixed class tonight. So do you need to see it again? So again, you're going to start right ham knee, right hand. You're going to lift this up. And as you lift it up, you're going to turn your hips. It's kind of like the exercise we did in the beginning of class where we're doing this and just letting your wrist loosen up. But this time, you're going to push off that left hand. So to keep it slow, you're going to, again, keep this in front of your hips, let this wave up, and then as this waves up, you're going to have your left hand push on that movement to help accelerate it. So start with the right hand, let it wave, push down with the left hand. You keep control. You're kind of keeping control with both hands at the same time. So the right hand stays put the entire time. It does not change places. You do not let go of it. So as you're bringing it up, see my right hand is staying put. As I'm pushing it around, the left hand releases off the jaw for a little bit. But the momentum will carry it to where you can naturally grasp it on your shoulders. To help out even more, if you just use the right hand, like I'm just using this as an example, you can see that the right hand is staying put. So use the left hand for the control, but you should not be switching hands with the jaw. It should be right hand is basically your pivot point, and it's the pivot point the whole time. So your right hand is going to be doing all the spinning. So just raise it up a little bit, turn towards your left hand, and let your left hand pick it up. And then you're going to push that left hand forward, and then it should spin back towards you. So, and honestly, don't get frustrated on, I mean, it's easy to get frustrated on this, but I've been doing this for probably a better part of like 15, 16 years in terms of dedicated weapons practice. This is not the easiest thing that is taught, and I swear Bertium Sensei gets a kick out of this every single time he teaches a seminar. So you're bringing this up, and just think about bringing it up and pushing it forward, and then bringing it up to the shoulder. So if you want to think about it this way, just think about as you're kicking it forward that you're bringing it up to your shoulder afterward. So, yeah. So here, or here. So I'm just letting this kick up and bringing it up to the shoulder. And also make sure that you're keeping it about a third of the Joe. Yeah. Down. And then up. I'm trying to see. So make sure you go down, up, and make sure that you keep your wrist. I mean, if to help out in terms of the motion is basically this. This is here. This is, so this part here is it right at this point, and all you're doing is letting it flip. So as I'm holding it, when it hits the left hand, as you can see my palm's up, and then you flip it and the palm's out. So palms, I guess, reversed on this one, and then I guess, or elbow down on this one, elbow's more up on this one. So you're having it face up with the palm of the hand towards you, and then when you finish, the palm is away from you. So make sure you start it with grabbing with the palm down, about a third of the way down on the Joe, and then just let it shift your hips towards your left arm. Good. And then push off and let the Joe just swing around. Just let it swing around. And okay. I'm gonna have to do an adjust. All right. So I'm gonna do a little bit of adjustment tonight. Just because again, the next 5 movements are going to be focusing on this particular movement itself. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show the base movement behind it, and then I'll show the full movement, and the full movement will basically be, it'll be with the HISO, but if you don't want to do the HISO and you just want to practice the basic movement, go ahead and do that. Do what you're more comfortable with. So what we're going to be doing here is on all of these that are based on HISO, you're going to start right hob knee. And then again, in this instance, it's going to be what we've done before. It'll be a showman. So on the basic movement, we're going to be doing a showman attack. So that's what we'll be doing for this basic first part of it. So since we've already done this one, you're feel free to keep practicing with it. So that's what we're going to be doing with this part here. So again, if you want to feel free to practice just doing that particular movement, go ahead. The more advanced one, which is with the HISO, is you're going to flip this around. You're going to bring up the HISO, and then you're going to switch it around to do the showman strike. Again, if you are having a difficult time with the HISO, just do the showman strike, and then we'll work on the HISO at another time because, again, it's not an easy movement. So you're going to bring this up, and then you're going to strike down. Now, on this, as you're doing the hyso, make sure you do the hyso, make sure it's a strong one, and then flip up. And again, with the thumb movement is, I always like to let the thumb slip off, and then I go for the normal grip. So, again, hyso, strike. Hyso, strike. And again, make sure that you have plenty of momentum on the hyso if you can. But make sure it's got plenty of control. The point of this movement is to deflect, which when we can start doing kata again, I'll show that as an emphasis. Here, here. So again, do the basic movement if you need to. All right, looks good. So the next one that we're going to do is, I'm going to start down here for this basic movement. It's a Minsky. So you're going to bring it up and you're going to strike forward. And you're going to bring it down. So you're going to start right arm knee. You're going to bring it up. You're going to bring it forward. Then you're going to strike to the face. So again, I probably need to be on this side. This side. So again, you're going to bring it up. You're going to strike. And bring it down. Bring it up. Strike. Bring it down. Note the important thing is I'm not putting the Joe in front of my face. That's not wise. So if you put the Joe in front of your face and you try to strike, A, you don't have any room to strike, and B, if you hit somebody hard or they hit you first, you'll pop yourself in the face. So don't put the Joe in front of your face is what I'm getting at. You want to bring this up, strike, then bring it down. So bring it up, strike, bring it down. Right? So that's the basic movement on the Minsky. We'll do it for a little bit and then we'll add in the more complex movement. So here, strike, bring it down. One of the little things that I am doing, which you're probably not seeing catching, is that I'm bringing it up. As you can see, I'm actually letting my hand slide up to the Joe, to the end of the Joe before I bring it down, and then I slide it back down to a third. So as I'm bringing it up, I'm actually sliding my right hand to the back, doing the strike, and then as I'm stepping forward again, I'm bringing the hand back down to the third of the Joe. So here, strike, down.
Very light.
All right. So this is the optional or advanced version. I will restate that I'm not the best at this version. If you want to watch Saito Sensei, there's plenty of videos of him doing this. He does it far better and far faster than me. So is ISO, set down, and bring it back. So again, he starts with the ISO, brings it up, slides Joe down, strikes, and basically does the ISO type movement again and brings it back to his, I guess, chest, collarbone, if you want to call it that. So here, and my bad, he actually starts like this when he does it. So here, here, right? I'll slow it down a bit. So
Slow down, please.
you just put me in slow motion
Yeah.
live.
If I could, I would.
So let me slow down as requested. So we're going to do the ISO. You're going to slide the Joe down, strike, and then you're going to bring it back. So here, bring it around for the ISO. Again, thumb change is similar to what we did at the Showman. You're going to let it slide over. Again, in this case, you're letting it slide over again. But this time it's going to be palm flat against the back. You're going to then slide it down and then finish the ski. Then you're going to bring this hand back to the third, and you're going to pop it up, and then you're going to go back and do the ISO again. Okay, y'all looking pretty good. Let me check the time again. Three. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and do, again, this is a repeat, the Oshiro ski, but we're going to do the Oshiro ski from the right side. So in this case, we're going to do the Oshiro ski from the right side. In the base practice, you do it in the left, but again, you know, Joe's two-sided weapon anyway. So in this case, you're going to bring this up, and you're going to strike down. Again, you're starting right ham knee on this one. So you're going to start on right ham knee, you're going to lift it up. Again, have the Joe line up to your forearm, and you're going to strike down to the knee. So bring it up, strike down to the knee. The other hand, as I'm catching it, is coming up to the back and grabbing, and then going down. So all right, so see you guys do that for a little bit. Good. Good. So, because this is a repeat, we'll go ahead and move on to the next one, which is including the ISO with it. So with the ISO, right on knee, With ISO, you're going to kick it in and then bring it back and down. So again, you're bringing this up, doing the ISO. You're going to rotate your hand on top of this, and then you're going to finish with the strike. So ISO, common denominator. But again, you're going to have to let your thumb roll across that Joe. You're going to bring this right up next to your forearm, and then you're going to bring it down and strike. And yeah, I do let the Joe ride down so you can get the proper length. So do it correctly. Here, again, let that roll over. And then as I'm striking down, again, as I strike down, you don't need to have an ironclad grip on your Joe. When you're practicing weapons, you don't want to have an ironclad grip on the weapon most of the time. You want it tight enough to where you don't lose the weapon, but you also want it loose enough so you can maneuver with it. So that's something that everybody has to kind of figure out on their own over time. But you do want to make sure that if you have that ironclad grip, if you have that like kung fu grip, if you know what I mean, you're not going to be able to move the Joe. If you keep it loose, the Joe will move freely through your hands, and that'll give you more control, right? But right now we're doing a specific technique, so let's just focus on that, and that would be the Yoshiroski from Haiso. One big point to emphasize on in this is that you do not go right into the Yoshiroski. That's not a good habit. You get up to the ISO and then do the Yoshiroski. So do not rush into the Yoshiroski. Focus on getting a good ISO first and then do the Yoshiroski. Practice this here a bit more. Yeah, I know that wasn't the correct start. This is. All right, so the next one, and let me emphasize again, this is when you want to start to make sure you have nothing nearby you. The base movement, I would start right on knee. I would bring it up, and It's a strike down and back. So you're here and down. So it's a diagonal strike backwards. So and again, you do not want to use your arms on this because you can hyperextend your elbow. But it's here and down. So you're striking down sideways to the leg, so it'd be a side strike to the knee, like so, or like so. Anybody knows that's a pretty devastating hit. So you're gonna bring this up and then strike down. And again, the strike down is with your body, not with the arms. So here, here. So, and reset to this every time. Do not speed up on this one. You want to be methodical. So you're going to bring this up and strike down. So, and if you have to, I mean, I know I've been horrible at times of going slow on this, but go slow. Make sure you get the control down. So as you can see here, I'm doing a diagonal strike downward. So it's not me turning around and striking. No, that's not what I'm doing. I'm bringing this up, and as I'm moving my hips around, I'm striking behind me at a downward angle. So you should see it come across and down. Yeah, much better. So again, here, down. The other thing you notice is that, again, I'm not turning around. I'm actually keeping my weight forward on what would, I guess it's really my front foot, but in some cases it's my back foot because, you know, I'm striking back here behind me. So up, strike down at an angle. And remember, avoid using your arms. You want to make sure that this moves with your body. If you use your arms, you're going to have a tendency to stop. It'll be hard on your elbow. So when you're doing this, make sure that your body is moving the Joe. The arm should kind of more or less stay in front of you until about the very end. So you want to make sure that the body's moving the Joe. As in, the Joe should be moving with your body. I don't want to see this where the Joe is leading ahead of you. That's not what you want. You want to make sure that the Joe stays with your body movement. Now, I know this out here looks different than this down here, so this is where you want to focus on when I'm saying these things. You want to look at where my hands are, where I'm holding it. You want to look in this section here where I'm holding that Joe. Don't look at where the Joe's going to be at because it's always going to lag behind my body by a hair, but it's going to, you're going to have a lag there. But if you look at where my arms are at, my arms are almost always in front of my body the entire time. Okay, good. So now we're going to go ahead and add in the complex piece, the HISO. So again, the ISO, you're gonna flip this up and it's gonna come around. So this one's a little bit trickier and I'm gonna try my best to go slowly on this one. But you're gonna do the ISO, again, do that characteristic thumb roll, and then you're gonna bring it down and strike down at the knee. So it's, dang it, sorry. ISO, and then you're going to strike down. It's the same movement we just did before. The only thing we're doing is adding the ISO in the beginning. And slowly again, you're going to do this movement. You're going to flip the hand over, roll it over, and then you're going to strike down. So, and again, when you're doing this and you're bringing this down, you're bringing this down with your body. So, here, and again, to emphasize the thumb roll, I pop it through like so on that thumb roll part before I bring it down. So, again, in terms of the basics, we're going to pop this up, and you're just going to strike down. Show you the obstacle near you. Pop this up, strike down. That's the basic. The height, the one with the ISO included, or the ISO combination, I guess. You're going to do the ISO and then strike behind. So, basic is, again, here. ISO, here. Slow down.
Is it important to bring it up over your head when you're transitioning from the ISO to the strike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Reason for that is it's just to make sure that, again, you've got everything in place before you bring it down. Sometimes you're doing it to help increase power. Other times you do movements like that. In this case, I think it's a combination of increasing your power plus giving you the clearance to do it. So if I don't raise it up, you could kind of feel it. I mean, you could actually feel the Joe getting bound up here because everything's so tight, it is so tightly compact. I mean, my arms are still a little bit compressed, and so it will force that movement to be constricted. So when you're bringing things over your head, it adds power, but the other reason is it actually opens up your movement. So you can do this. If you try to do it too quickly and you miss that part, you're not going to be able to get that complete strike, and it should feel more bound up if you do it that way.
Is it all right if I leave early?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, and sorry we started so late.
That's okay.
Hmm.
Bye.
Bye. Why am I the only one here? Oh, shoot.
We're still here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. You want to
y'all fell off my screen.
you put a gallery view maybe or speaker view? I don't know.
I'll go to gallery view. That way I can. Oh my God, I have to see Randall again. Yeah, hopefully I didn't like completely lose her on this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot, but you broke it down really well. You know,
Yeah.
like a little bit of the ski, a little bit of the showman. That was really nice.
Yeah. I just know that ISO can frustrate people, and if I can't be there in person, like really correct it, it's difficult.
It's
Yeah,
hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So anyway, that was basically it before Randall cut me off last week.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he had to go get an extension cord today.
thank you. So we'll go ahead and do the last movements. There's 3 of them. So the next one is a true room sweeper. This is why I'm looking behind me.
Goodies.
So you will be here, here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So aren't you glad we aren't doing this indoors?
Yep, sure.
So I will go slowly. The movement is here, and then as you roll that thumb over, you're going to basically do a tenkan all the way around. Now, take it easy on this one. I have hyperextended my elbow on this. So if you get overly exuberant and your right elbow starts to hurt, that's why. So we are here. And again, what you'd be driving it is actually the tenkan itself. So what I'm doing here is you're getting to the ISO, you're flipping it over, and then the strike is driven by you doing your tenkan. So again, you're doing the ISO, you're rolling it through, and you're hitting across. I have learned this 2 different ways, and again, I think it depends on when Saito taught this to whichever person. Some of the ones I've seen, and the one on the older video that I saw, he showed it with the strike down, which is what I thought I saw Kim doing. It was like down towards the knee. The second one, which was taught to me later on by one of my old instructors, Sherman Phillips, he told me that it was flat across. So it was more lateral, as in you were going to be hitting the person in the stomach. So honestly, I guess because he did it both ways, they're both valid. But so yeah, if you ask me, is it at the knee or is it at the stomach? I'm like, yes, it is.
Okay.
Hit him.
As long as you hit them. So again, slowly, you're going to pop this forward. Make sure you're getting a good ISO, and then as you do your tenkan, you're going to go flat across. Not so much. You don't want to go all the way. So when I'm stopping here, you don't want to go all the way down and around. That's
No.
you're overshooting it. You want to stop flat, and the Joe should finish 90 degrees. So see where the Joe's at? It's 90 degrees. It's not behind me.
Why?
All right. Yeah, and don't kill each other. Shoot, the freezing on me.
All the way 10.
Yeah, you're doing a full tenkan, and then you're letting the Joe stop 90 degrees from you. Yeah, that's much better. So.
And are you facing? You're ending up facing the opposite direction as what you started.
Yeah, that's correct. So when I'm finishing here, you're you're going to finish you're going to finish 180 degrees from where you started.
Okay.
So I guess in this case, if I start looking at my house here, I'm finishing looking at you guys. Yeah. So, all right. Well, we got 15 minutes approximately. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the last two. I'll go as slow as I can, and hopefully we'll all get it down. So, I honestly, I don't even know what to call these because Saito Sensei said it all in Japanese really fast. I think it was like nigiri. It started with nigiri. Anyway, the first one he did was here, here, here. Ah, yeah, sorry. It's back, forward, here, strike. So these are going to incorporate blocks. Did you get all that down?
No.
So start right on knee. You're going to take a step back, strike. You're going to pivot with your feet, strike. So, yeah, this is why I'm trying to dedicate extra time to these two. So, again, we're going to take a step back. You're going to ski. You're going to pivot. You're going to block. And then you're going to pop it back. And then you're going to do another showman. So, you're going to take a step back, showman, bring it up to a block, switch, and then showman again.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So, you guys froze me like right at the most important part. Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How are you doing that? Are there any tricks to catching that when it comes down? Just guiding it like you do with the other ones?
The one thing I noticed is that he doesn't like bring the Joe all the way back on the block. He actually just keeps it at the third. So, because I get why, because it's just too much movement with your hands. So, when you're doing actually I need to go to this side. When you're doing this, you're going to cut, and then you're blocking like so. And the transition is you're basically carrying the Joe in front of you, and then you're letting it meet back up again, and then you're popping it. And in terms of the transition itself, I'm here at the block, and then I push off with my hand to let the transition go for you to do the second strike, the second showman strike. Yeah, don't. So when you're doing the transition with your feet, don't move your feet until you're ready to do this showman. So what I mean by that is, you're here, you're going to strike. All I need is switch. You're here, you're going to strike, and as you can see here, my feet don't move. I just change my position, and I bring this up for the block, and then as I pop this around, I don't move my right foot until I step forward with the final strike.
Right.
So it's just you're here,
Mm-hmm.
just drop it like
No.
No. So
after the first cut.
yeah, so when you do the first strike, you're going to do the first strike. and then you release off it, because again, this is, you see how my hand's bound up, which is why he let go. So you let go till that, so that Joe doesn't bind up on your hands. Perform the block, and then you can do the switch over.
Let it go. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's why you let it go. Anytime you start feeling a bind, it's a hint that you might need to let it go or extend your arms out more.
Business. And so it's, again, distinct movements. I'm cutting showman and letting go.
Yeah. And then showman again.
Let it go into it. And then,
Yeah.
all right. Right.
And full disclosure, I guarantee you, if you just try to watch a video and learn this movement, you're never going to know it unless somebody taught you yourself.
Yeah, no, dude. Honestly, I've watched these Suburi and the 31 kata 1,000 times, and only now can I understand it because of you. Thanks, pal.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
No, I know. I mean, we spent we spent over an entire summer just studying the 20 Joseph and the 31 Jokata. So even if I don't remember the 31 Jokata today, if I saw a video of it and repractice it, I'll be able to get all those little nuances down.
Nice. Good.
So,
That's a hard one.
it's a hard one. The other one's also tricky. So again, here. Yeah, and again, Saito Sensei does these extraordinarily fast, which drives me nuts because I had to sit there and remember all this. I'm like, what is he doing? So here. And again, when you're doing everything, make sure you get all the movements in. Even if I'm doing it quickly, I don't say fast. Even when I'm doing it quickly, I'm making sure that I'm getting everything in, including that interim block. So don't just skip over and try to do the showman.
All right.
You want to get the interim block in there too. Good. So do y'all want to see the last one?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so the video I'm also been watching for the 20 Joseph Brewery, he does this one extremely fast, and I had to rewatch it several times just to figure out what he was doing. Again, been taught this before, but as a refresher, it still made it difficult. So, so what he did was a guy actually showman and ski. So, again, bear with me on this one. So again, we're going to go, Gayashi Showman, where you're going to strike down so. You're going to do a Tenkan with this one, and then you're going to bring the hand back and finish with the ski.
So you're not switching hands while you're tenconning. It's all the same.
No, you're not on this one.
Okay.
So you're going to here and then come up and block and then ski.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're going to do the one big tricky thing is that you're doing a tenkan. So again, you're going to do the guy ski, you're going to block, and then you're going to ski again. So
Starting in right, you're coming through and ending up on left.
yep, left on me, and then you're going to tenkan off the left foot, you're going to block, and then you're going to shrug.
You are switching hands.
Huh? No, I'm not switching hands.
Do it again.
So, right? Oh, wait, shoot. You are correct. I am switching hands.
You tricky bastard, you.
Yes, you are switching hands. Don't listen to the guy with the black belt. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hard to talk about.
Okay, so starting in right, switching over to left.
Yeah.
And then
again, when you're doing the Gayashi stuff, even the Gayashi Shomans, you want to get this above your head.
hi.
You don't want to have it go off to the side. That's why I always emphasize, and I know you guys probably going, why does he keep saying make sure it's way above your head? Why does he keep saying it's way above your head? And the reason is because I start saying this. I start saying it where you're cutting onto the side and it's not a full strike. You want to have that full strike.
Hi.
So again, you are stepping forward with your left foot. You're doing a tenkan with a hand switch.
Yeah.
Then you're going to go down and ski after the block.
Oh, fucking shit. Okay. Here.
And so you let it go at this point and
Yeah.
slide back.
It's a tenkan. Oh, wait, are you asking about the hand? Yes, you do let the hand slide back.
All right.
Huh.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Here.
you're going to here, here, here. So just to reemphasize some things, you're going to bring this with your head. You're going to step with your left foot, finish with the Gayashi Shomunichi, and then you're going to bring this up. As I'm doing that tenkan, I let my hand slide back, and I'm doing the block, and then I'm finishing with the ski. So make sure you do the tenkan backwards.
Yeah.
So, oh, you caught yourself?
I caught myself.
Okay.
Here.
Good.
It's just so simple.
I know, right? It's a really nice movement.
It is. I'm kind of glad that I like remembered all this and saying, what should I teach? Oh my God, I need to teach this because it's basically core,
Yeah.
the core Joe movements.
Yeah.
We don't do enough weapons.
No, we know, but you know, again, these are core Joe movements, which is why Saito Sensei taught this in the first place. He wanted to make sure that, you know, during the kata, that certain movements get reflected, and these are the ones that he kind of captured. These are like the 20 distinct movements that he captured and that he wanted to kind of teach as like a basic core exercise.
Yeah. Could you show the transition from the block to the ski again?
Yeah, so here, and as I'm doing the tenkan, see how I'm switching my hands? So I'm bringing this back as I'm initiating the block, and then I complete the strike.
And you're just coming around, pulling back and ski.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm here.
Hi. Hi.
Ah. Oh. Yeah. Gotta making noises.
Weird noises. Maybe my next show will be 6 feet long, so I could just smack people that make funny noises.
No, no.
And I abide by social distancing.
Ah.
Brandon's gonna act a lot.
Oh God.
Think on it.
Yeah, there you go.
And when you're switching from a block,
Mm-hmm.
you want to keep the tip of the Joe in the same. Am I correct in that?
Well, there's a couple things. So I'm going to go ahead and try to tackle both. When you're doing the block should be down.
Right.
See how angled down it is? Because you're trying to protect your body. The other thing that, if you notice where my right elbow's at, right elbow's down. A bad habit I see a lot of people do is that they'll have the elbow pop up, and you don't want that. You always want your elbows down. That helps absorb the shock better. Plus, it helps your movement get a little bit quicker. If it's out here, you got to move more of that arm to get the
And your
same
face is
work
wide
done.
open. And your face is wide open.
Yeah, I don't like my face wide open either. But the point being is that even still, because you're blocking in front of you, it's mostly, because as you can tell, my face is not really changed. It's
Right.
mostly that elbow being exposed. But the other thing is that you can quicken your movements if your elbow is already down in that position. So,
Gotcha.
Nice.
yeah.
Cool.
All right. So we're right at the top of 8. Do you guys want to go on for like 10 more minutes? I mean, this is really all I had planned. So I don't, if you had any questions or.
Okay, can we go through the last movement once more? Not the one that we just did, the one right before that.
Yeah, sure.
It's just a couple more times and we'll call it a night.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I kind of knew that these last two were going to take more time than the others just because of all the extra steps that are in play.
Mm-hmm.
So the last one, second to last one, you're stepping back, stepping forward, you're pivoting off your feet, and then you're going to step through on the final Shomanuchi. So I'm going to do it on this side. So you're going to step back, strike, bring this up, strike. So I'll slow it down now. Get into a rhythm. So you're going to take a step back, strike, pivot with your feet, and pick up the Joe. So yes, you are letting go. The hand change, bring this up, block, and then transition again, and finish with the showman.
Right.
Okay. Again, watch it with the elbow. Don't speed up.
Feeling better.
Yeah. Cool. So let's just do the official bow out real quick. And then I'll probably discuss some other things to kind of go over on other training, but let's go ahead and bow out real quick. And my makeshift tokonoma, make sure you have your weapons in hand. You start with a weapon, you finish with a weapon. Anyway. And thank you.
Sensei.
So, anyway, that is E20 Joseph Brewery. Honestly, if you ever feel the need to say, hey, let's practice this again, since right now you two are primarily the people that are showing up for my online classes, you know, I'm fine with us doing that. Because again, it is core exercise. I'm kind of kicking myself sometimes because I haven't done it in a while, and it took basically a pandemic for me to re-practice this again. Really annoying. But I did at the beginning of the pandemic. You saw Audrey, didn't you? But at the beginning of the pandemic, I also was messing around and kind of did my own kata as well. But like everything else I do, it's overly complicated and kind of a pain in the butt. So we're willing to try it. But if you get frustrated with me and say, Robert, what the hell are you doing? I'm fine with that too. Because you guys know that I haven't been going to Saturday classes with Sensei. I am still training in Aikido. Vuhu, who's the main instructor up in Boston, has been kind enough to organize and set up basically these one mat sessions where he finds an instructor somewhere in the world to teach for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing a lot of those classes. The advantage with those classes is that they're predominantly Akemi focused. Mm-hmm. So you can finally and that's basically where I've been keeping up with my Akemi practice, has been on those. And so
they're on Saturdays though, aren't they?
Huh?
They're on Saturdays too.
Yeah, they're on Saturdays at 11, which is conflict. So I'm kind of torn between the two right now. Honestly, work's been killing me anyway, so it's just, you know, and then other little things kick in, you know, life gets in the way. So I've been obviously favoring those. Anyway, I'm still debating on, should I start Saturdays with Sensei's class because I kind of should have the FaceTime with him, or should I keep continuing with these Akemi classes? Because honestly, when we do go back on the mat, I guarantee you the biggest thing you're all going to feel is, and including myself, is the Akemi.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to at least quickly share with you at least one of the exercises that I've been doing.
Yeah.
This is Irina. Oh God, she's which country? She's from one of the Eastern European countries. Woman's got phenomenal dexterity, balance, and everything else she has more or less everything that I don't have, which is a lot more than me. Anyway, she brought up, you take an object, in this case it was my sweat rag, and you put it down in the middle of the room, and you watch the cat, and you basically practice going around like you're going around a body.
Oh.
You would come in and then.
And you're touching with the inside hand and lifting the outside leg.
Yeah, like what do you go through when you're doing Rimanage?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what this is simulating. You're simulating going around and dealing with like an Rimanage, right? And you can do the same thing on the front, doing like a kite nage, right? So that's what they're trying to simulate is that kind of exercise.
Okay.
But try to find an object in the middle. And then another one that was taught, which we went out taught in the beginning of this whole in the beginning of all this, is I know this isn't a boken, but she said grab a boken or grab an object and kind of practice this, where you're,
Not letting it touch the ground.
you know, you are like touch the ground, it's not flexible.
Ah.
But yeah, you extend out, and again, it's you know, training your body to do some of the more basic movements. Other people have, and I'm pretty sure you've seen this with Anna, simulating, you know, simulating a Shoman or Nikio or Nikio. But yeah, I mean, it's just other exercises like that to help out. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's
Those classes, are they putting them up somewhere, or is it just whoever shows up?
what. Actually, Vu's been he's got a link to a Gmail, or sorry, to a Google Sheets account, and all the Zoom links are there.
Yeah, that's where. Okay.
I mean, I can, I don't have your email, but I can send it over to y'all somehow.
Well, we're just basically doing your class, Anna's
We're doing
class,
Anna's
and
and
Sensei's
Yeah,
class.
that's been
Yeah.
our main training. So
Yeah, I've mostly been doing Anna's class, and then this one Matt class on Saturdays, and then obviously my class. But hey, you now have exposure to the 20 Joseph Brewery.
thank
you.
So, all right.
been great.
And, maybe one day I will not have a distraction with a feline hanging around my body at any. I've had a cat show up every single time for class, haven't I?
Oh yeah.
And she's up there. So, yeah. All right. Well, this is the crazy cat guy signing off then.
Captain Sensei.
Captain Crazy Cat.
Captain Kitty Cats. Yes. Oh my God.
Anna had the best name, and I forgot what it was. I'm kind of kicking myself. She was like the crazy cat samurai warrior or something like that.
Yes. Neko-san.
So we got that one.
Nice.
All right, cool. Well, anyway, we'll
See you next week, if
Yeah.
not sooner. Or
yeah,
on
hopefully.
Thursday.
Huh?
On Thursday, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. All right. Anyway, even though I recorded this, hopefully it never goes online because it was kind of a weird class for me, but hey.
Yeah, it was great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right, anyway, have a good one.
You too. Good night.
Bye.